Would you look what you did to me, boss? You're paying for that. Okay. Well, all right then. What's going on, everybody? Jared here with another action-packed, ass-kicking movie review. Now, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it helps me out and it keeps you guys up to date on this channel's newest content every single week. So the Fast and Furious franchise is doing their first spin-off film, Hobbs and Shaw. When a deadly virus threatens the world, the unlikely duo of Hobbs and Shaw must team up to go stop a man that may be more machine than man. So is this the perfect direction for the spin-offs? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of this action-packed adventure, and would you love to see more from Hobbs and Shaw? Now let's get into some of the good. Honestly, going into Hobbs and Shaw, I was not expecting much at all. You know, from the other Fast and Furious movies, I was expecting some action-packed ridiculousness, over-the-top, you know, set pieces, and that's exactly what you get in Hobbs and Shaw, and then some. There is a handful of notable action scenes or set pieces in this movie. Honestly, the whole thing is one giant action scene. I mean, you have The Rock clotheslining people out the side of a car, or Idris Elba, you know, doing these Tron motorcycle shenanigans, or Jason Statham doing this hardcore Star Fox barrel roll through a building with a vehicle that's on fire and stuff. Like, this movie is the definition of summer action popcorn blockbuster. But Hobbs and Shaw isn't just shooty McShooters or kicks McPunchy. The story and world setup surprisingly intrigued me. Obviously, it's in the same universe as the rest of the Fast and Furious movies. You know, those are, I wouldn't say grounded, but more in reality. This one seems to take action with a bit of sci-fi. This is honestly more of a sci-fi movie because of the futuristic elements that are in this. Because it deals with this futuristic virus, you know, Idris Elba's bad guy character has these cybernetic implants or upgrades. It seriously did feel like this was more cyberpunk than Fast and Furious, and that's what I think I liked about it. I liked the direction that they're going. At first, from the trailers and stuff, I thought it was crazy, over-the-top ridiculousness, but it works. It works in this Hobbs and Shaw film. But the element here in Hobbs and Shaw that really kept me intrigued or held everything together is something that I felt like was missing from the other Fast and Furious films, and it was the chemistry amongst the team members. In those films, I didn't entirely buy into the relationships between everyone. In this movie, Hobbs and Shaw, the relationship, their kind of almost buddy cop demeanor, because obviously they're not seeing eye to eye, they're doing things different ways, and then they have to eventually come together and work together. The chemistry, them butting heads, them having these witty jokes, just completely making fun of each other, I bought into it. Like, I would love to see more of the Hobbs and Shaw because it worked so well. And this relationship back and forth with the zingers and everything surprisingly gave it, I wouldn't say entirely lighthearted tone, but it gave it a more lighthearted tone than the other serious Fast and Furious films. And it was more comedic. Like, it was a fun movie, and I would love to see, again, more of this comedic, lighthearted, but also ass-kicking tone. Rounding out the rest of the ensemble or cast was obviously Idris Elba and Vanessa Kirby. Idris Elba is the bad guy, you know, he's kind of one note, you know, cybernetic implants trying to take over the world, but he was just, he was oozing with charisma, so I really was on board for this character. And then Vanessa Kirby's character was a nice added addition as Statham's sister. They tried to set up, you know, a love interest for The Rock's character, Dwayne Johnson, for Vanessa Kirby, but honestly, there was way more sexual tension between Statham and Johnson. I was just waiting for them to make out the whole time. Lastly, there were a couple notable cameos that I absolutely appreciated. I'm glad that they weren't spoiled in any manner before the film, but it again adds to that comedic, overall lighthearted tone. These members, these added cameos, I hope that there is a sequel, that these are more present in those movies, because I could see all of this crew working together and almost building off another Fast and Furious crew of their own. Hobbs and Shaw captured all of the ridiculousness that I was hoping for, but the one problem I would say is the film, the runtime feels a little long in the tooth. I mean, I think it's a little over 2 hours, about 2:15, it does drag on. I mean, there's tons of action, and during those action set pieces, it's just like boom, 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 boom. But in between, there might be some relationship or character building or intimate stuff. That's where it seems to drag a little bit. You know, maybe take some of that out, clean it up a little bit. Maybe the runtime is a little bit smoother. So yeah, I'm not knocking it that much, but it just felt like a very long movie. Overall, Hobbs & Shaw is the definition of summer blockbuster popcorn flick. With loads of action, great chemistry amongst the leads, and this overall fun tone and story, but with the runtime being a little bit long, I'd recommend checking out Hobbs & Shaw. Personally, I felt like this was a step up from some of the other Fast and Furious movies in the franchise, even if it is completely ridiculous. In closing, I'm gonna give Hobbs & Shaw 3.5 out of 5 dynamic duos. So what did you think of Hobbs & Shaw? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there, you know, movie reviews, trailer reactions, fun comedy skits. There's going to be plenty more stuff coming soon. I think tomorrow is going to be my ranking of all of the Fast and Furious franchise. Check that out. Follow all of my social media down there. Click that subscribe button. It seriously helps me out. And until next time, I'll see you later.